All right, guys, Charlie and I are in the hangar. It is August 8th. It's a Friday at 9 p.m. We're getting to work on a few things. The first step is to take these horizontal stabilizer spar reinforcements and break the edges on them. So we're going to go do that with a Scotchbrite wheel. And we'll probably have to pick up a new Scotchbrite wheel tomorrow, but we're getting to work on that. And probably only an hour or so of work tonight, more on Sunday the 10th. So we'll keep you updated. Here's Charlie breaking the edges of this spar reinforcement. All right, guys, well, we basically finished step number 1 because we got hung up and started overthinking a bunch of stuff. So we got these all surface prepped, all the edges deburred with the Scotchbrite wheel, and all that looked good. So these are the spar reinforcements, and then the spar is in 2 pieces. There's the break in it right there. Everything looks good. The only part that I'm really confused on is watching a lot of YouTube videos online. I see a lot of people having to round these holes right there and kind of round these corners on these reinforcements to make them fit inside the spar channel. And we didn't have to do that. See, like these ones are rounded and these ones are rounded, but it says that if you have to, do it. And that's really it. Only if it doesn't fit is when you're supposed to do it. In our case, it seems to fit, so I think we're in good shape. Maybe I'll call Vans and just double check like that we're not doing something wrong, but it is a little weird that we counted and these have 1 extra hole. I'm assuming it's something we drill later, but I guess we'll find out. But there it is. That's our horizontal stabilizer spar as of now. All right, guys, Charlie's studying for his instrument written, not helping us out. Today is Sunday, August 10th. Dad's got some Cleco pliers.
I'm undoing work that Ben already did so that he can do it the right way.
Unclecoed our spar reinforcements. We noticed that this one was getting lifted very slightly. And so we're going to round the edges of all these reinforcements like they tell you to do in the plans. And yeah, we'll do that and move on. The next thing will be match drilling all these holes with number 30 bit. All right, well, Dad's working on getting some filing done. I marked the edges of this. So we've got all this marked. We just got to file them off, make them rounded, and then run the faces of them down the Scotchbrite wheel, and then we'll get to match drilling against the spars. So making progress. Okay, well, we finished.
Did you do this one, bud?
With the Scotchbrite wheel and emery cloth pad, getting all of this done.
Did you get this done?
Nice and finished. Got the edges rounded, and now we're just cleaning off all the kind of metal shavings and stuff, and getting them ready to drill and rivet. All right, guys, Ben's drilling the first hole.
Don't drill into his bench.
I should probably have something underneath it, huh?
Yeah, like a stock or something.
All right, guys, drilling our first hole.
And don't go too deep. You're going to go into his bench, dude.
All right, guys, well, we've made some progress. Got some hinges attached and match drilled. Some more here. Now we're working on this bearing. They only have one part of it drilled through. The other side, you gotta use this side as a template. We're trying to figure out what size right now because it doesn't actually tell you in the directions. Got this hinge on and got this hinge on, so slowly but surely making progress. Almost done with the rear spar assembly. All right, well, that's all the work for today. We got these brackets clecoed in. Obviously finished up our spar reinforcement, got these brackets done, and I just finished up getting the bearing assembly drilled out, and that's all clecoed together. I'm kind of at a standstill because I've got to prime, and I haven't really done much figuring out of my priming situation, but I'll figure that out at work these few days. Got these brackets done, so that's where we currently stand. Basically on the instructions, we're almost through the rear spar assembly. The last couple of steps are to prime that bearing because the bracket's primed, but the bearing's not. Prime that bearing if desired, rivet them together, which is just 6 rivets. And then we'll cleco it back to the spar, drill enlarged holes for the bolts to attach it to the spar. And that's it. So almost done with the rear spar. Just gotta figure out if I'm gonna prime this bearing or not. Probably just get a can of spraying prime and do that, but good progress for today. Now time to clean up the mess. As a quick recap, Charlie's got the culvers, but that was about 4 hours of work. Getting all of these rounded off and edge finishing, doing the faces of them with the Scotchbrite wheel, getting all the brackets in, match drilling all these holes. This is pretty much all drilled now properly. These pieces here will go like that. And so those holes are drilled apart, number 21. And so that was about 4 hours of work, but we're just about done with the horizontal spars, so making progress. All right, well, busy with work and what else? So we're back in the shop working on the horizontal stabilizer spar, and Charlie's about to set our first rivet. So it is Monday, August 18th, finally back at it. We'll see what we can get done tonight. Alrighty, well, after taking some time to get the rivet squeezer adjusted, we got our first few rivets set here. They look pretty good. I tested them with this dash 4 rivet gauge, and the head's just supposed to barely, not quite go through that hole on the rivet gauge, and then the depth should be not hitting it, which it's not. So we're in good shape. We'll see what the next step is over here. We just finished this deburr and prime part, or deburr the parts, prime it, the bearing if necessary. We're not going to. Then rivet them together with the dash 5, C-section 5-4. Now we'll cleco HS411 assembly back to the spar. So 411 is right there. And I guess now they want us to enlarge those to number 12, so we'll do that. All right, so we got those rivets installed, and now Charlie's enlarging the holes to number 12.
Vacuum.
So one at a time on the drill press now to try to make these as precise as possible, enlarging the holes to a number 12 bit. They were number 30 originally, so it's a much bigger bit. Alrighty guys, well that completes the rear front spar for the horizontal stabilizer. That's all done, so the next step is gonna be the front spar assembly for the horizontal stabilizer. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. That concludes this video. Since we finished up the rear spar assembly, I'm just gonna kind of make each video a different section in the plans. And yeah, so we're gonna get started on the front spar assembly.
We're going home.
We're not going home yet.